Hey guys, I've got my August favorites for you today. I figured why not do it? I wasn't gonna do it because it's so late, but I figured better late than never. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. But what I like to do is put as many of the favorites on my face as possible and kind of throw them into this video as cutaways so you can see at least some of the products in action. So let's go ahead and get started. I have a couple of things that I want to talk about before getting into the nitty gritty here. One is Cosbar is having their beauty bag event, which is so exciting. I was sent this from Cosbar, so thank you very, very much. I will, of course, link the details of the event down below in my description box, but if you spend $200 or more, you get this free beauty bag, which has, I believe, 23 samples in here. And can I just say, I used to live for the Barney's beauty bag events. They would have one in the spring and one in the fall, and their price point was higher. I think you had to spend like $250 or maybe even $300 for it. I think these beauty bags are better and it's lower. The threshold is lower, it's $200. So I'm not gonna go through all of the lovely, very large sized beauty products in here. All the details are on their site, on the Cosbar site. But I just wanted to mention it because it's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I love beauty bag events. And like I said, the Barney's one is gone, unfortunately, but this one I think is so much better. So just wanted to mention that. And then the other thing I wanted to mention, which is a little bit out of the normal products that I talk about, is a body cream. I don't usually talk about body products. I'll throw them in every once in a while, but I had to mention the Sisley Velvet Nourishing Body Cream. They sent this to me a while ago when it came out, and I just didn't get a chance to use it. I also was kind of, I don't know, not waiting for a special occasion, but you know when you sometimes have something so special, you're just kind of waiting to bust it open? I did that with this. And so when I moved into this house, I was kind of going through things and decluttering things. Anyway, I came across this and I was like, oh my God, I have to use this. And if you guys have been watching me for a while, you guys know I love the Sisley Velvet line. It has saffron flowers in it. It has a really, just a beautiful light scent to their products. And I am hoping and wishing that one day they'll actually come out with a fragrance that smells like these products. But the texture for all of their velvet products. So I have their velvet sleeping mask, which I really love, and their velvet cream, their nourishing cream. And they're rich, but not too heavy. And the same goes for this body cream. It is just perfection. So here is the texture. Obviously it's a cream, so it is on the thicker side. It's not a lotion, but there's nothing really heavy about it. It absorbs into the skin quickly and beautifully. Oh my God, I just love this scent. Just a really light, fresh floral scent. Nothing sweet about it, just really bright. Anyway, the cream itself is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So I actually keep this in my bathroom where I shower after I use my pool. The chlorine can be a little rough on skin, on hair, and this just brings my skin back to life. Had to mention this because I've just been loving it, absolutely loving it. Now on to the products that I have been loving this month. As you guys know, I took like a 2-week break, the last week in August and the first week in September. And I thought to myself, I was like, I probably am not gonna have that many products to talk about, but I do. I have a lot of products to talk about. The first one is a primer, and I don't usually have a primer to mention, but this YSL new Glow in Balm Primer, I do have this on today. It is really lovely. I love how it's just a kind of like a lightweight moisturizer. I have dry skin, so it's really nice to just add another layer of moisture. I always welcome that, but it's not heavy at all. It's not something I wouldn't recommend for normal to oily skin. It absorbs very quickly. I think it would work for all skin types. And it has a little bit of a glow. It has a little bit of like a smoothing effect. It's really just a lovely primer. I don't feel like it's too much of anything. It's not super glowy. It's not too moisturizing. It's just very nice. So I've been loving this along with the new Bare Look Tint. I was gonna say foundation, but it's really lightweight. I have the shade New 6, and I don't have this on. I have a different foundation on today, but this is really nice. I did like a trying new makeup with these two products and actually a powder, which I'll be mentioning in a little bit. And it was just such a beautiful combination. I was surprised at how well this lasted throughout the day because it is so lightweight. I figured, oh, it's probably gonna wear off pretty quickly, but it lasted. It lasted really well. So I was really impressed with it. I really liked the light coverage that it has. It was just kind of perfect for like August, which was so warm. And it's still warm here in September. So I know I'm gonna be using this into September, which is just really nice, really nice tinted moisturizer, like nothing high maintenance, really easy to put on. If you don't feel like putting any other makeup on, this looks natural enough by itself. You know, if you just need a little kind of evening out of your skin tone, this is really great. So wanted to mention that. I will leave what I have on my face for last, but I did want to mention the DIOR Forever Skin Glow Foundation. This is not a new foundation, but this was new to me this past month, or maybe the month before. Anyway, recently. I do have it in the shade 2N, and I have tried the DIOR Forever foundation, and I have tried their Forever, is it their Natural Nude? It's the one that has like a cream colored cap. This one, out of those three, this one is my favorite. It just seems to kind of be right in the middle. Skin glow is kind of an overstatement. My skin definitely has a nice, really subtle kind of like satin sheen to it, but it's not like, I don't know, it's not like there's any like bits in this foundation. It's not like it's gonna look like you've built in highlighter in any way. It's just really natural. I just love it. And this Forever line is like long wearing. I think it has 24-hour wear. Does it say that? Yeah, 24-hour wear. I would never test makeup for 24 hours long because I would just never wear makeup for that long. And it also has sunscreen in here. There's SPF 35, and it's a mixture of chemical and physical sunscreen. So it's just a really great foundation. And when I feel like I need just a little bit more coverage than say something like this YSL, this is really perfect. This whole line, actually, no matter which one you like from DIOR, great under masks. I don't feel like I got any weird wearing away from mask wearing when I wear this foundation. So that has been a favorite of mine. And last, in terms of foundation, is what I have on my face. And this foundation is gorgeous. This is the Clé de Peau Radiant Fluid Foundation Natural with SPF 25. I have it in the shade 020. And I always think it looks a little bit too light for my skin, but by the time I get all the rest of my makeup on, I think it's fine. I was kind of debating whether or not I should invest in 030 because I like this foundation so much, but I think going into the cooler months, I think this is gonna be fine. Anyway, I'm wearing 020, and the SPF in here is, oh, just like the DIOR, it is both physical and chemical sunscreen. I mean, I have makeup over it, but trying to think, like right here, you can probably get a good sense of it by itself. I think it's very similar actually to the DIOR Forever Skin Glow Foundation, but the finish on the DIOR, like I said, it's just this very kind of soft satiny finish. So it's just really beautiful. It looks very skin-like. It looks like you have this just kind of natural glow from within. There's something about this Clé de Peau Radiant Fluid Foundation that is a little bit, it's less about the finish and more of like the effect. It looks almost like it's smoothing and blurring on my skin, and I wouldn't say that I have any kind of like satin kind of effect. It's definitely not matte. There is a matte version to this, which is really lovely, but it's definitely not matte. It's maybe a little bit less kind of satiny than the DIOR, but it does something, I feel like, to the appearance of my skin, and it's really quite lovely. I feel like the coverage of this is just a teensy bit lighter than the DIOR as well. So anyway, I've just been really loving this. And oh, maybe on the tip of my nose you can see. Does it look kind of like, just like blurred? Yeah, I just love it. And the wear time on this is very good as well. I did a wear test with this, what was it, like 8, 9? It was a while. It was like between 8 and 10 hours, and it wore really well. So very impressed with this, love this a lot. All right, let's talk about powders. I alluded to this when I was talking about the YSL new products, but this is from LYS, and this is their pressed powder. What's the full name? Triple Fix Translucent Setting Powder. I have it in the shade Resilience, which I think is the lightest shade. I am so impressed with this pressed powder. It is just beautiful. It's a very, like, not tricky, straightforward powder. It does what it's supposed to do. I feel like it is almost imperceptible on the skin. It mattifies my makeup without making me look dry or cakey at all. It's just very lightweight. It is really gorgeous. I don't have it on my skin today because I wanted to wear a different powder because I've been wearing this one quite a bit actually. So that is the LYS powder. Really, really love it. The powder that I'm wearing today is the Valentino powder. So I purchased a lot of the Valentino products, and the products that really, really impressed me were the powder products. So this powder, this powder that I'm wearing today, it just has such a lovely creamy feeling to it, but it doesn't look thick or heavy on the skin. It's almost like the best of both worlds. It goes on and it kind of melts on your skin, but it's very lightweight. It's actually, it's really incredible. I love it. I love this powder. So this is the On the Move Perfecting Powder Soft Matte Radiance. I think that's the full name. And I have in shade number 2. And all of the Valentino powders, I feel like, have this quality where they're very creamy to the touch, very almost like, ooh, are these gonna be too thick to apply? But they go on really just lightly, and just this nice kind of like dusting of the powder. It's really great. So I also did get the refill of the bronzer, and I don't have this on today. I have something else. But this is really, really beautiful. And let me tell you what shade I have. If I ever forget, it's all down in the description box. But let me see. This is, oh, it's just shade 0. On the Move Universal Bronzer, shade 0. Okay. And let me just mention these Valentino Eye to Cheek Dual Use Blush and Shadows. This is shade number 3. It's like a orchid pink color. So pretty. And again, it has that really creamy feel to it, but really lightweight on the skin. And then this one is number 12. And this is like kind of a deep golden shade, which is a beautiful blush topper and very beautiful on the eyes. So just wanted to mention those products because I just love that formula. I've never really experienced anything quite so creamy to the touch and creamy in the pan, but went on like really lightly. It's just really beautiful. Let's talk about the contour slash bronzer that I have on my face. So I've really been loving the Charlotte Tilbury Newgasm palette. I think this one, for me and for my skin tone, just blows the other 2 previous versions that she came out with, just blows them out of the water. Those were, I just don't think, quite as versatile as this. I feel like some of the products were just a little overly glowy, and I like a glow, but they were a little too much. Like I felt like I had to find a special occasion to wear those products. This is definitely much more versatile. I could wear it every day, and I just love having the 2 bronzer contour shades in here versus 2 different blushes. So we have highlight, blush, what I use as a contour, and then what I use as a bronzer. So today I'm using this as a contour. I pretty much just put it, into the hollows of my cheeks and just around my forehead. And then I'll talk about how I use this a little bit later on. And I did not use these 2 products because I used something else. Anyway, I just really love these products. They're all baked gelée products. And like I was mentioning, these 2 products have a little bit of like a metallic sheen to them. They kind of do a little shifty business in the light, but they're not overdone. It's not too much, and you can apply them lightly, where in her previous 2 palettes, they were really, especially the blushes, they were really, really blingy. And, I love that, but I just don't think they're quite as versatile. And then these 2 are matte, but because they're baked gelée formulas, they just have this really nice kind of creamy appearance and creaminess to them. And I did a video with this where I use these on my eyes, and it looks beautiful. This product looks great on the eyes if you like kind of like a peachy eyeshadow look. So really been loving this. And yeah, I was so skeptical about this product when it came out. I was like, another one, but it's so good. It's so good. So that's the Newgasm palette from Charlotte Tilbury. And then I did want to mention the blush that I have on, and this leads me to this entire collection. So the DIOR Birds of a Feather collection, I just love it. Every single piece from that collection, I just love. So the blush that I have on is number 468. I don't know the actual name to it, but it is the more nude of the two blushes. It also has some micro glitters in there, which I'm not generally the biggest fan of, but they pretty much kind of brush away when you apply them. So that is what I have on my cheeks. I just have a light dusting of this. And then what I did actually was put a little bit of the bronzer in the Nudegasm palette, and I just kind of applied it over the apples of my cheeks just to kind of deepen it up a little bit. And I really wanted to kind of have like a nude look today, so I wanted to keep everything kind of neutral-ish. So that's what I did on my cheeks. But the other blush that is part of this Birds of a Feather collection is number 462. It's this bright, bright coral, and it is gorgeous. Just absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I love it. And while we're talking about the Birds of a Feather collection, I do have a bunch of different eyeshadows to talk about, but I did want to use an eyeshadow, at least one eyeshadow from each thing I was talking about. So in this Birds of a Feather Nightbird Quint from DIOR, I used this shadow on like the outer corners of my eyes. So that's what's there, but they're just really, really beautiful. I think they're really well done. I love the different finishes in all of them. I love that they're baked gelée. That's just one of my favorite formulas for like powder products. And I just think this whole collection is really, it's just really unique. It's really different, yet it's all still, I don't know, I guess subdued enough that I feel like I can wear it every day. Like, I don't mind putting on that green shadow. I don't feel like I'm like, you know, creating this like crazy eye look or anything. I just feel like it looks really nice as a shade to deepen up the outer corner of my eyes without looking too bright in any way. So just really love this collection, and the 3 nail polishes that came out with it. I'm wearing this Wild Wings one on my toes. I showed it to you guys in one of my vlogs, and these are just really, really gorgeous. And some other favorites of mine, the eyeliners. I've talked about these eyeliners a lot because I just think they're fantastic. These eyeliners are iridescent. They have a shift to them. They're really beautiful. I have iridescent bronze along my lower lash line and on my upper lash line as well. And then I have, what is this called? Pearly Platine. I have this in my waterline. So it was just exciting for me to see just a lot of thought put into eyeliners. I feel like, I don't know, if I were developing like a little capsule collection and I wanted to include eyeliners, I mean, would they really be like a big thought of mine? Probably not, but yet DIOR decided to make really, really special ones that go really, really well with both eyeshadow quads and the nail polishes. I just think really well done. So that's the Birds of a Feather collection from DIOR, which I forgot to talk about the lip products that came out. Hang on. Okay, so they came out with these Rouge Graphiste like lip pencils, and these are my favorite. They also came out with some other lip products, which, you know, they're beautiful colors and the formula is really nice, but I just don't like the scent. They have a little bit of a scent. These are scent free or fragrance free. And I really like the colors of these: Vibrant Coral, Vibrant Plum, and Vibrant Nude. These are really, really great. They go really well. The colors go really well with the eyeshadow quints and the blushes. Yeah, they just kind of bring the whole look together. The formula is really wonderful. They go on really easily because they're like in this pencil form. You can really apply them precisely. Just wonderful. So been loving those. Okay, so that's the DIOR Birds of a Feather collection. I'm just going to mention these again. I actually brought these up in my July favorites, but they were really new to me, and I just knew they were going to be favorites, and they still are. So these are the Laura Mercier Light Catcher translucent loose setting powders. I don't use them as setting powders. I think they're a little too blingy to kind of, you know, dust all over my face, but I have been loving Celestial Light and Honey Star. Is that right? Yeah, Celestial Light and Honey Star. There's 3 shades in total. These are the 2, well, this is the lightest one, and then this is the one that's in the middle. I mix these 2, I wear them alone. I just love them as highlighters. So I have Celestial Light, which is the lightest one. I have that kind of blended in as highlighter, and then I just kind of worked it in over my blush. And I wanted to give you guys a good sense of the glow of this because it is a cooler type of glow. And then Honey Star I have on this cheek. And so you can see this one is a little bit more gold. And so if you have a warm skin tone, or if you just happen to like gold toned highlighters, I'd go for Honey Star, Celestial Light if you like cooler ones, or if you have a cool skin tone. I really enjoy mixing the two. I feel like I get something right in between, something neutral. So those are the light catcher powders. Really, I'm still enjoying them. Really, really love them. All right, nothing really to report eyebrow-wise, mascara-wise. I'm still loving the Wang mascara. I've been trying a lot of other mascaras that are really, really nice, but this one, it's just so good. It's so good. It's hard to take off. We've discussed this already. It is hard to remove because it is waterproof, but you just need one of those biphasal, eye makeup removers. You just need to kind of put your pad on your eyes. I love the Cognac Cleansing Spa Water. That is the most gentle yet effective makeup remover in general that I've ever used. But anyway, that is my favorite still. And then going back to eyeshadows. So I did want to mention the Tom Ford Cognac Rose. I just really like this quad. I mean, I know it's nothing earth-shattering. It's not like that exciting, like the Birds of a Feather collection I feel like is like, oh wow, like that's really cool. I like those colors together. I never would have put them together myself. This one is definitely, in terms of color story and color family, I think very basic, but it's pretty. It's just really pretty. And I love the wet dry form. Generally, I love the wet dry formula from Tom Ford. He came out with that rose prism and metallic denim. I think those are the names. Anyway, those I did not like. Those did not work out for me. But this one, which was part of the Nordstrom anniversary sale, but it is still available, I believe, on Nordstrom. This one, I thought, the formula was like the wet dry formula that we're all used to. And it's really, really pretty. So today I have this, the lightest shade, just on the inner corners of my eyes. Like I mentioned, I wanted to use as much of the eyeshadows I'm going to be talking about today. So this one is in the inner corner, but I will use these 3 shades often, very, very often. And of course this reddish brown shade if I'm feeling a little more daring, but yeah, these 3 like all the time. Of course, I had to talk about the Pat McGrath Utopian Mothership palette. I mean, I'm just a fan. I'm just a fan of Pat McGrath. As you guys know, I love her Mothership palettes. Whenever her Mothership palettes come out, I just think they're so special. And I know some people, comment on how they thought this was boring or overdone. It's kind of like rose toned, but I really like this watermelon shade. And these shades are always just so much fun and so beautiful. So today, again, because I wanted to use at least one shade from everything I'm talking about, I'm just using this matte shade and just kind of started with that shade and just put it like in my crease area and the outer corner. But I'm a big fan of this shade. I think it's a lot of fun. It's much like the Birds of a Feather, where I look at it, I'm like, is that too daring for me? But when I put it on, it looks nice. It looks great. It doesn't look too like, whoa, Michelle's got makeup on today. It just looks a little bit different. And then these 2 like satiny metallic shades are just, they're just really, really gorgeous. And when I talked about this palette, I did like a dedicated video to this palette. I talked about how I really wish there was another quote unquote special shade. And many of you said that this is a special shade. This is like a trichrome shade. And yeah, I get that for sure. But I really like baked products, as you guys know, like wet dry formulas, baked gelée formulas. I really like baked formulas. So that's really what I meant to say, that I wish this 4th shade was a baked shade, just like these 3, because I just think they're so much fun. But nevertheless, I love this palette. I think it's so beautiful and it's so much fun, and it gets me out of my comfort zone. And I think a lot of the makeup I talked about today really kind of takes me out of my comfort zone. A lot of it is so inspirational, like that Birds of a Feather collection from DIOR, really inspirational. This is So inspirational. Some of those Valentino Eye to Cheek, like that lilac blush. I don't usually wear lilac blush, but yeah, just inspirational. Anyway, the other product I want to talk about, I don't know if I'm including it in this particular favorites because it is so new. I just showed it to you in yesterday's trying new makeup video, is this Natasha Denona retro palette. I mean, I love it. I know it's going to be in my September favorites video, and I just wanted to reiterate how much I love this palette. I feel like this palette, like the more I look at it, the more I feel like this is the glam, this is like the rose version of the glam palette. Like that's the vibe it's giving me because it is very subdued and it's fairly neutral in tone. And I just love it. I really think it's incredibly beautiful, but I'm going to use it some more and it will probably show up in my September favorites, but I did want to mention that. Okay, let's move on to lip products. So let's start with what I have on my lips today. The Wayne Goss Nude Collection. I mean, it's like music to my ears. I just love a good nude lipstick. I love his formula. They're creamy, they're pigmented, and I believe when I did my video on this, Pecan was the shade that I just love, and I still love. This is a shade that was my favorite at the time, and it is definitely still one of my favorites. But the other two that I've been reaching for quite a bit is Walnut as well. So this one is just a hint lighter. And then the one that I have on today is Nutmeg, which is even lighter and just a hint warmer. So there's a little bit of a peach to it. And like I said, I wanted to kind of keep this like nude kind of look. So I thought this would be nice. Just loving these Wayne Goss nude lipsticks. I love all of them, but these are the three that I wear the most. This product, did I mention this in my last month's favorites? Maybe, I don't know, but this was kind of surprising color for me. This is the Westman Atelier Squeaky Clean Liquid Lip Balm in the shade Pipsqueak. And I don't usually go for these kind of like mid-tone red kind of shades. I usually like them with a lot of orange in them, or like nude, like I mentioned, or like cool mauves. But there's something about this shade in this formula that it's almost like a blush for your lips. It makes your lips look like you've been out in the cold. Like it just gives you that look that you get on the tip of your nose or like the apples of your cheeks when, you just like, you were out on a winter walk, maybe snowshoeing or something. You get that same effect, but for your lips. And it's so pretty. It's really, really pretty. And I was just surprised at how much I loved it because I don't really normally go for just like a red like this, but I think it's the formula. I think it's the fact that it's just this kind of like a tint, and it leaves this like high satin finish to your lips. Gorgeous. So the last lip product I wanted to mention, I actually had to run to my purse and grab it, so it's a good one. It's the Lisa Eldridge. I think they're called like the Embrace lip gloss, and I have it in Affair. So this is like the very neutral shade. This is just another one. I just feel like I can just throw it on. This is such the perfect everyday, no makeup lip gloss. It's just perfect. It's not too glossy, it's not too wet, it's not too thick, it's not overly pigmented. It looks great. It's like lip perfecting. I feel like her lip glosses, they're not plumping, like there's no kind of like mintiness or anything like that, but I feel like they kind of fill out the lines, the crevices in my lips so that they just look a little bit smoother. Just lovely. The formula is gorgeous. And this color Affair is the one that I've been going really, really hard with. And then last but not least, I just want to end this video with these brushes. These are the most amazing brushes for cream products. I love cream products. Blush, bronzer, I mean, you name it. Eyeshadow, foundation, just anything. I love cream texture. And this is the Sony Fusion series brush set. So there's 5 brushes to the set. I believe you can buy them individually. But if you're a cream product lover, these brushes are indispensable. I love using this for foundation, for cream bronzer. I love using this for cream blush. This is really great for highlight, for blush as well, for like tight spots of foundation, like around your nose. This is the mini base brush. Absolutely love it. This, I think, is the most versatile. If you're gonna get one, I would say get this one. Yeah, and then there's like 2 smaller ones, which are great for eyeshadows, great for concealer, just really versatile. And that's not to say that you can't use these with powder products. You most definitely can, but they were created and designed for cream products, and there's just nothing like these brushes. I have not been able to put them down. I think I talked about cleaning my makeup brushes in my last vlog and how I just have to resign myself to the fact that all of my makeup brushes will never be clean all at the same time, because as I was cleaning them, I was using them. And these were the 5 brushes that I just kept dirtying. I would be like, okay, I'm gonna wash them, they're gonna be clean. And then the next day, whoosh, I would use them. So these are just phenomenal, and they're just wonderful. So the Sony Fusion series brush set, just gorgeous. Available as a set, available individually. All right, woo, that is it for my favorites for August. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Everything will be linked down below in my description box if you're interested. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.